I kind of like science fiction. I always have. I've always fascinated by that. And I remember the first time I watched Lost in Space and Robbie the robot, and I was just, man, that is so cool, a robot, that is awesome, and I'm thinking about robots and all this stuff, and every now and then I'll read a news article that has to do with robots, and I'm just going, man, we're like getting there. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Terminator movies. The Terminator movies were basically about man coming to the singularity, the point at which computers became self-aware. And the computers said, you know what, let's take over. The Matrix, same thing. Computers became self-aware. They took over. So you have in the Terminator, you have evil robots. In the Matrix, you have evil computers and evil computer programs. So wait till you see where we're going here in a little bit, okay? But for some reason, all of the people who are working on robots, they feel compelled to make these robots in our image. That says, and change the glory of the incorruptible God into an image make like unto corruptible man. It seems how we think. We think that when we make these robots, we have to make them like us, only in their eyes they say, we're going to make them better than us. But you listen to this. Here's a news article. This is actually from 2004. This is old, 6 years old. New robots walk like humans. Washington, D.C. in what could be described as one small step for a robot, but a giant leap for robot kind. A trio of humanoid machines were introduced Thursday, each with the ability to walk in a human-like manner. Now, you've probably seen like a news article on TV or a YouTube video, something like that, of this Japanese robot. I think it's called Asimo, that has the ability to sort of creep along and walk like a human being. They're developing that thing in exponential leaps to make this thing not only walk like a human, but to be able to run, to leap, to do the things with legs that human beings do with legs. They're working on robots that have the ability to use their hands the way human beings use their hands. Here's one. An article says, NASA developing robots with human traits. Will robots that help astronauts in space be as friendly and likable as fictional Star Wars droid R2-D2? NASA researchers envision futuristic robots that, quote, act like people to enable these mechanical helpers to work more efficiently with astronauts. Our goal is not for robots to have the same thought process as humans, but rather for them to act, respond, and interact more naturally in ways that humans do with other humans, said Lillian Norbakash, a scientist who leads a group developing human-robot teams at NASA Ames Research Center located in California's Silicon Valley. Now, she says, we don't want them to think like us. We just want them to be able to interact with us, which means they would have to think like us. So we have the walking robot. Now we have the thinking robot that's going to think like humans. And then here we have an article, Japanese robots enter daily life. At a university lab in a Tokyo suburb, engineering students are wiring a rubbery robot face to simulate 6 basic expressions: anger, fear, sadness, happiness, surprise, and disgust. Hooked up to a database of words clustered by association, the robot, dubbed Kensei, or sensibility, responds to the word war by quivering in what looks like disgust and fear. It hears love, and its pink lips smile. Now, so we have the walking robot, we have the thinking robot, now we have the reacting robot, the robot that reacts to things that we say or things that we do. We are training computers and robots to think independently on their own. And everybody says, now this is a great age we live in. I mean, here's what we're doing. We're creating robots, images, idols, artificial life forms. We're creating these things to act way too much like us. In the image of corruptible man is what we're doing. That isn't scary enough. I mean, it just, this robot can kind of move its arm the way I move its arm. And we go, okay, that's not a big deal. Because I've seen the Asimo robot try to walk. I walk better than this thing. Okay? I've seen the facial expressions on some of these robots that go, I do it better because, I'm a man, I'm a human. There was something that came out on the news the other day, and I went, I can't believe this. Let me read the article, and let's see if you get out of this what I get out of it. Researchers report teaching robots to lie. Robots can be trained to do a lot of things that humans do, including learning how to lie. Researchers at the Georgia Institute of Technology say they developed algorithms which endow robots with the capacity to deceive humans or other intelligent machines they encounter. Their work, which was written up in the International Journal of Social Robotics, was funded by the Office of Naval Research. You knew the government had to be involved. You knew the government that already knows how to lie had to be involved in it somehow, some way. Their software was successfully tried out on a couple. Now, I got to stop right here. How do they know their software was successful when they're teaching the robots how to lie? What did they ask the robots? Now, was this software successful? Yes, Master, it was very successful. How do we know they're not lying? Okay, their software was successfully tried out on a couple of camera-equipped robots playing hide and seek. The hider robot was programmed to use deception, something that was unknown to the seeking robot. I've got to stop right here. Hiding and seeking. These are two words that really have religious and spiritual overtones. Remember that Mystery Babylon, she is the master of hiding things. Her ways are movable that thou canst not know them. And then we have, this is good. Here we have all of these people in these churches all across America and all over the world. These churches, that are seeker-friendly. Okay? They're just seeking something. They're looking for something. And here it is, Mystery Babylon, the robot, has the ability now, when she hides something, and the seeker's well on his way to finding it, she'll just hide it somewhere else and deliberately mislead. Remember, Albert Pike says here in Morals and Dogma, he says the symbols that we have an exoteric meaning and an esoteric meaning. The exoteric meaning is the meaning that we lied about. The symbol of the triquetra on the New King James Version, where Thomas Nelson says, this symbol is just simply a symbol that represents the Trinity in all its aspects. When God said in the book of Acts that you cannot have artwork that represents the Godhead. It cannot be graven with art in man's device. So Albert Pike says, when we tell you what we want you to hear, we lied to you. What spirit is that? What spirit is it that lies and that hides things? It is not the spirit that operates within the bounds of this book. It is Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. But here's really what I got out of this. As soon as I heard this on the news, I told my wife, Sweetie Pie, that's not her real name, but that's what I call her. We just invented the evil robot. It's what we did. We invented the evil robot. All of the robot movies that you ever saw where the robot turns bad, like 2001, A Space Odyssey. You remember the situation there? I don't know if you caught this or not. And you had to watch 2001, you had to watch 2010, or read the books to really get it. But basically how the supercomputer that thinks like men was taught to do something that he was not programmed for, and that was to conceal and lie. And it made all this big mess and all this stuff. Then we have HAL, we have the Terminator, and we have the Matrix, and we have, all of these movies where robots have been taught and programmed how to lie. We now, and it never worked out good, did it? Never worked out good for humanity. And I'm here to tell you, when corruption makes more corruption, it doesn't work out very well at all.